Or
Bilch. After taking a week off, WrestleNet Radio listeners, I am back here with Slice of Time, discussing 25 years ago in professional wrestling, all the news and notes that are fit to dish. And I'm joined this week by my brother Aaron.
What's up, bitches?
And my good buddy, Mr. Archie Mitchell of If You Smell What the Arch Is Cooking.
what's up, everybody?
And of course, I am Nate Maxon. This week, going back in time, Archie, you will be happy to know this week I do have some indie results. So
Yes.
not a ton, but there are some here.
Any indie results are good indie results.
We'll get something out of it.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt about it. So, anything you guys want to say before we get into the dirt here?
I'm good. Aaron?
I'd like to say that I know we talked about it a little bit on the 2300, and I'm sure we'll talk about it if we do a we can't at some point later this week. We did get some table action at the convention we were at, so that was actually a pretty fun night. And I enjoyed it. And if any new listeners out of that come from, I'm babbling, but if we got any new listeners onto the WrestleNet Radio and the We Can't and the 2300, or not 2300, Reliving the Extreme, welcome to the fucking Thunderdome, bitches.
Yes, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We had a good positive experience.
We met a new friend.
Yeah, we made new friends and deals, and the convention was great. The wrestling show afterward was a shit show, a train wreck, but train wrecks and wrestling are fun too. Any botchamania, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I have something I'd like to ask. Aaron, what was it like meeting Kevin Sullivan?
Kevin Sullivan was, and I know I knock him a lot or whatever, just making fun. But I'm actually a fan of Kevin Sullivan as a booker, and the demon character or whatever, the Satanistic guy. But Kevin was cool. What I told Nate, and Nate after he looked over at him was like, "God damn, you're right." It was a guy that you could tell that if anybody tells you professional wrestling is fake, fuck off, because Kevin Sullivan's been doing that shit forever, and he was very slow moving, and he was a decent dude. I had a card that I wanted him to sign. He was like, "Oh, that's cool," and it was like an old NWA card, and he was just like, his autograph was $20. It said like $20 no matter what or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, that's a cool card," and he signed it for like $10. And
well, that was nice, Jim.
Yeah, and like I said, he wasn't the most, like, at first I was like, "Yeah, this guy isn't very conversational or whatever." But when I was watching him move and shit, it's like I wouldn't be either.
Yeah,
if I had to fly, if I had to get my car, drive to the airport, get on a plane, fly to Fort Wayne, get in my car, or get in a car, because I'm sure he didn't drive himself, get there and everything. Yeah, Kevin was cool. And there were a lot of cool people there.
You didn't know you talked shit about him on the show, though, right?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
But no, the autograph signing and the convention wise of it was very entertaining. And like I said, like Nate said, the show, it was live wrestling, so it was super fun. There was a lot of train wreck shit happening on it.
Yes. Listen to this week's edition of Reliving the Extreme for all those details, those sort of details. We did run that down on that show. So the cover date for our news that we're covering this week is October 12th, 1996. Here we go. We'll start with the WWF. Jake Roberts will be quitting wrestling either entirely or mostly entirely once he starts his full-time work in the WWF front office next week. The Anaheim card will be his scheduled last match. I don't think that Jake lasts very long in creative here.
No.
Or office work, I guess I'll say.
The Anaheim match isn't that 6-man, is it?
No. We're way past WrestleMania.
Okay.
So there's probably a house show coming up, I'm assuming.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to all the other beats.
All right, let's see. Sunny signed an extension with the WWF, which pays her guaranteed money as an on-air personality rather than pay based on her road appearances. So she's going pretty much to TV at this point, which, she's not with, no, they have not yet. I think they, by this point, this is October, I think they have moved her away from Farouk, I believe.
Yeah. She didn't manage anybody after that.
No, so she's other than LOD come 1998.
Yeah, Sean
Right.
gave her the extension.
What's that?
Yes.
That Sean gave her the extension. Sorry.
Let's see here. A working agreement has been worked out between the WWF and Dennis Coralluzzo, where Dennis Coralluzzo would use green WWF wrestlers such as Mark Henry and Dwayne Johnson to give them experience. But when the ECW storyline began, Coralluzzo apparently pulled out. So, Dennis Coralluzzo, one of those figures in professional wrestling that you always hear wild stories about. And we watched the NWA tournament that he presented a few months back on the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why he would not want to continue dealing with WWF if they're going to work with ECW. There's probably still, because this is what year? What year are we in?
This is October of 96, yeah.
Yeah, so the Shane Douglas shit's still fresh. So he's probably like, fuck it. If you're going to deal with them, I don't want to deal with them. So I understand it. And honestly, he probably wasn't making like super duper money, but he was probably still making good money just being New Jersey NWA.
Yeah.
Now, if you go by that show we watched a couple months ago.
To the mob. Oh, sorry.
What was that, Archie?
I said, not if you go by that NWA show we watched a couple months ago from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Did you ever, being in Jersey, did you ever get to attend any Coralluzzo shows, Archie? Or were you not into wrestling then? No?
No, I was into wrestling. How can I explain it to you? Cherry Hill for me is about an hour and 10-minute ride. So from the ages of like 13 to 17, there was no me getting there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know, it was like, okay, I could try to get a friend to drive me, but I doubt it because none of my friends are really into wrestling. And my family weren't letting me take a bus that far. So the independent shows I watched around here were mainly whatever was around the corner at a high school or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I never got to attend the Dennis Coralluzzo show. No.
I'm sure there were a number of times that you got to see King Kong Bundy wrestle Tom Brandy, though.
I've seen Tom Brandy wrestle 15 times. I've seen Jimmy Snuka wrestle 12. And I've seen Tito Santana wrestle 25 times. Here's the crack up. At 22 of 25 of those shows I saw Tito Santana at, I caught his shirt coming out of the ring that he threw out to the crowd. And after number one, I kept giving them to somebody else because he wouldn't sign them for cheaper than $30. And I wasn't giving $30 to get Tito Santana's autograph. And number two, it was just like when I finally brought it home, I was like, wait a minute, I'm holding a guy's sweaty shirt he was actually wearing. It's not Hulk Hogan. It's not Warrior. It's not Savage. It's Tito Santana. Never mind. So,
forget about it. Yeah.
My nephew, the last small independent show I ever watched, we were there for my son and my nephew's birthday. They're like born 2 days apart. And my nephew tripped Jimmy Snuka by mistake because we had front row seats. And my nephew stood up at the same time Snuka was coming through. Then he tripped over the kid's shoe. And Snuka just got all up in a huff. And then when he saw it was this 5-year-old, he was like, okay. And he got in the ring.
TCB, brother. TCB.
I can't beat up a kid at the same reading level as me.
I was like, Steve, you almost got your ass kicked. He's like, why?
Let's see here. Kurt Henning's insurance coverage may have run out. He had that Lloyd's of London policy, although he still is not a lock to come out of retirement anytime soon. Expectations are that Hunter and Perfect won't wrestle, but will turn on Marrow. Perfect would then manage Hunter against Marrow for the IC title. That does wind up half coming true.
Happened for a minute. It happened for a minute.
And then Kurt left.
Like
Kurt
a month he was, yeah.
And then
he was there for a month, I think, yeah.
At the October 5th Cauliflower Alley Banquet in New Jersey, Vince McMahon, Kurt Hennig, and Sonny were among the current big names honored. Others at the event included Pat Patterson, Arnold Skolin, Lou Thez, Tom Pritchard, Bruce Pritchard, Chris Candido, Linda McMahon, Shane McMahon, Jimmy Snuka, Lou Albano, Jim Powers, Salvatore Sincere, Fred Blassie, Killer Kowalski, and Afa.
Well, it's pretty telling to see who probably foot a little bit of the bill for that.
Yeah. Vince might have been funding Cauliflower Alley at that point. That sounds like a fucking.
Vince bought a lot of plates at that fucking. He bought a lot of prime rib.
Look at those names, though. Sounds like a good fucking time, doesn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying Vince bought a lot of fucking dinners.
Or was he trying to go there one-on-one with Sonny, and did Linda interject and say, "Oh no, we're all going"? Vince might have been looking for a Sunny date. We don't know.
Never know. Let's see. The only other thing here for the WWF is former WWF champion Billy Graham underwent another hip surgery a few weeks back. So I'm sure at this point he started loving the WWF again, because Billy Graham loves the WWF when he needs them and hates them when he doesn't.
Billy Graham's a piece of shit.
He's such a bitter old man.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Billy Graham is such a bitter old man. It just doesn't make any sense. When you hear him speak now, he just sounds like somebody's granddad who came home from the war and is very bitter.
It just, Billy Graham to me, like Nate said, oh, well, he must have needed some help from Vince. It's like, unless he needs the WWE,
right,
they're just the worst thing in the world. Something else on me is failing. I love you, Vince. I'm going to write you a letter. And then if I'm back, he's like, look, they don't care about the people that were before them.
Right.
Oh, fuck you, Billy Graham. I hope everything fails.
I remember a few years back when Kamala lost his leg, Billy Graham went on this tirade. How could Vince McMahon let that man lose his leg? He should have done something else. He should have been. And then the very next month, he had a surgery himself, and he didn't say anything for like a year. And then, of course, Kamala died, and that's when he went on a tirade again.
Yeah, or when he was like that shit about Hunter, where he's like, Hunter should tell us what happened to him. Like, no.
None of your goddamn business, Billy Graham.
It's none of Billy Graham's goddamn business, and it's none of our business. If Hunter doesn't want to say what fucking happened to him, he doesn't have to tell us what happened to him. You know what I mean? My fucking arm hurts right now. I fucked it up at work. I don't have to tell you the story.
Yeah,
I picked up a fridge but that's the fucking story. But who gives a shit? My fucking arm hurts.
Well, I do. I was going to ask you because I saw you commented you hurt your hand. I was going to ask if you were okay.
Well, no, it fucking hurts like shit. That's why I'm opening my beer with my left hand. But I'm just saying, like, it's nobody else's fucking business. Like, what? I know it's like out of left field, but that's the last thing I remember where I read where it was like, what the fuck is Billy Graham talking about? Like, it was a thing where they said Hunter had like a heart issue or whatever, and they didn't put anything else out on it. And he was like, oh, Hunter should tell us what happened. It's like, that's not nobody else's fucking business. Billy Graham's fucking crazy.
The thing of it is they mentioned it was an existing coronary issue with Hunter. So it's not like they just said he had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that was been bothering him for a while. So who knows what it was? It could have been something since birth. But
it's nobody's business.
Right.
You know? But Billy Graham was like, oh, they should tell us what happened to him. It's like, no, they shouldn't. And like Nate said, like Billy Graham and like Arch said, like Billy Graham is all about just knocking the WWE until something else fails on his addle-ridden body. And then he's like, I love you, Vince. My foot fell off. Please help me.
Help me sew it back on, Vince.
Monday Night Raw from October the 7th, 1996. Wildman Mark Marrow beat Diesel via disqualification. Razor Ramon got involved there. The fake Diesel and the fake
That's the
Razor
thing.
Ramon.
Thank you. I'm going to say what?
Let's see here. A promo aired for Mr. Perfect versus Hunter Helmsley in 2 weeks on Raw. Ross said the return of Mr. Perfect to the WWF is like the return of Michael Jordan to the NWA.
The NBA.
NBA. I said NWA, didn't I?
Michael Jordan. It's like Mike Jackson coming back to the NWA.
The Smoking Guns beat the New Rockers.
That was actually probably a good match. Honestly.
Mainly because of Lee Cassidy.
The New Rockers.
All four of them are good guys.
I enjoyed the New Rockers. I thought it was fun.
And I like the Smoking Guns. Billy, I know I've not Billy, and like Billy was a guy that kind of went in reverse, like before he got fucking big. And Billy, I'm not even gonna say that like badass Billy Gunn was entertaining, but the Smoking Guns were a goddamn good team. And Billy was really good before he got like jacked to the gills. He was really fucking good, honestly.
Yeah, they just don't get enough credit because they were champs in a down period. WWF doesn't talk about that period a lot. So let's see here. Todd Pettengill narrated a feature on Double J Jesse James.
Ooh.
Jesse said the WWF called him and asked him if he was still aligned with Jeff Jarrett. He said he doesn't hate Jeff because Jeff took him further than he'd gone before. But I took him further than he will ever be. He's not the world's greatest entertainer. He's not even close to being a good entertainer. He can't dance. He can't sing. And like I said, that's not being cocky. That's me being honest. He can't do these things. He said Jarrett couldn't beat people without his help. He invited Jeff Jarrett to return to the WWF to be his road dog. So you got we have at this point, we have we've talked about it on past shows, but at this point now we have a fake Diesel, a fake Razor Ramon, and a new Double J. So lots of recycling going on here in 1996 for the WWF.
But they're also, honestly, not knocking Jeff Jarrett as a worker in case this fucker comes back. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't say Jeff Jarrett was a terrible wrestler. He said he was a terrible singer and a terrible entertainer, but he didn't say, oh, I could beat this guy in 10 minutes flat, because they obviously thought, oh, maybe Jeff will come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking too much into that.
And he did.
But that never really got a feud.
No, it did not.
The Sultan beat Aldo Montoya. Of course, the Sultan comes out with Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik. And in the main event, the Sid. In the main event, Sid beat Goldust. Vader ran in and splashed Sid. Sid popped up and Vader fled. We are heading towards, I think, pretty much Mind Games here. So, or no, not Mind Games. Buried Alive.
Buried Alive, yeah.
Yeah. So they're headed into their feud. So that's WWF. Let's talk about Actually, no, I have one more thing for the WWF here. Yes, I does.
Sonny blew half the fucking locker room. The last man had to eat the cookie.
Huh.
That person was Duke.
Ironically, Chris Candido. Oh.
Duke Trophy.
We're on the road check the name of this town out, the WWF Live in Windpipe, Manitoba.
Oh, wow.
That's just what Sonny did. She wind a lot of pipe. Get in there.
3,500 in attendance. The Stalker beat Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Which you didn't see that coming.
Crush beat Bob Holly. Jake Roberts beat Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The Grimm Twins beat the Smoking Guns. Steve Austin beat Savio Vega.
That was probably good.
The Undertaker.
Sorry.
The Undertaker beat Mankind in a no-holds-barred match. Mark Merrow beat Farouk. The Owen Hart and the British Bulldog beat the Godwins. Sid beat Goldust, and Shawn Michaels beat Vader. That sounds like a solid wrestling card right there.
Yeah.
It does. It does. I will agree.
All right, let's move on to WCW here.
Where the big boys play.
All right, when it comes to Bret Hart's decision of whether or not to sign with WCW, money will be an important factor. The solo behind-the-scenes atmosphere, he will be relying on friends who have recently arrived to tell him about professionalism of the company and how much influence Hulk Hogan wields. Bret and Hogan, those guys, let's be honest, you look at now, granted, Bret's 20 times the actual in-ring, like bell-to-bell wrestler that Hulk Hogan is. But as far as their attitudes, they're more alike than they would ever admit. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Oh, yeah. They're their own biggest fans.
Yes. They are about themselves. They both only want to really put over the guys that they want to put over.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what movie was Sting in with Jim Carrey. It says Sting is in California filming a movie with Jim Carrey. Was Sting? Can anybody tell me?
I heard that he was possibly. I've heard this before, that he was possibly in the movie The Mask, but then they cut the scene he was in. So that's what he was filming. But other people have said that it might have been the one Truman Show, but I don't remember Truman Show coming out in 1996 or 97.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Jim Carrey didn't.
You know
Jim Carrey didn't have anything to do with
timeline.
that. Jim Carrey didn't have anything to do with that. Men Behaving Badly movie that Sting was in, did he?
I
No.
don't think so. Let me see here. We're gonna find out. I'm just gonna play.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
What?
Sting, Jim Carrey.
Sting made Men Behaving Badly, and that's the one like cinematic movie that I remember him being in.
Liar, liar. Apparently,
Sting was in Liar, Liar.
that's what popped up, but maybe they just popped up first thing. Hold on.
I don't remember him in the movie. I mean, maybe he was. Maybe he played a cop or something. You know, I mean, but I don't remember WCW ever hyping it.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, Sting was in Liar, Liar with WCW with Jim Carrey. Yep. But they cut the scene. They cut the scene though.
Oh, they cut the scene. Funny movie.
Oh yes, very funny.
Back when comedy was funny.
My own ass.
I'm kicking my own ass.
You know why I pulled you over? Well, speeding. I took a turn on left. I didn't stop when I should have. I ran up railroad side.
Did you just move in? Yes, everyone's building real nice. It's because you have huge boobs.
Yeah.
Shit. Johnny Grunge will be undergoing knee surgery. I'm sure everybody was sad about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure Farouk and Bradshaw sent them a flower arrangement.
Dave Penzer announced during the show that
the flower arrangement they sent him was just a bag of potatoes.
Yeah, I don't. He hasn't been beat up by Farouk and Bradshaw yet. This is still WCW, but a funny joke. Still a funny joke. 2 music notes related to WCW. Conan appears on the cover of a record by California punk rock band named Spaz. The record is called La Revancha and shows him waving a flag mid-ring. The rock band Weezer's latest CD has a song with lyrics that talk about Johnny Grunge leg dropping New Jack through a table. I actually know that song, yes.
What song was it?
Oh, crap. I can't remember what it's called, but I know because I listen to Weezer a lot, and I know it's on there. I can't remember what the song is though. It's not a single.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Weezer, and I've heard a lot of their songs. I don't remember them saying anything about that.
I'll have to find the tune, and I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
WCW is being cautious in their portrayal of Randy Savage. Apparently, there is sentiment within WCW that they should make him look as bad as possible between now and Halloween Havoc in case he doesn't re-sign with WCW and ends up returning to the WWF. Savage wasn't happy with J.J. Dillon being brought in, although that won't be a primary factor if he decides to leave. I remember around this time, like I was kind of excited because I wasn't getting the dirt sheets at this time,
Right.
but I knew some people that did, or we would, you'd find somebody would find something out or whatever. And I remember people talking about the possibility of Savage coming back to the WWF and being in the '97 Royal Rumble and blah, blah, blah. I was pretty excited. I was like, yeah, I want the Macho Man back.
But how stupid is that?
What's that?
How stupid is that?
To make him look like...
Let's make this guy look like complete garbage and pay him anyway for the possibility that he's going to sign somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay him anyway, with the possibility of him signing somewhere else, just leave him off TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's a possibility. It wasn't him going, look, I'm fucking leaving. Like if some guy tells me, hey, I'm leaving, I've already signed this, fine, you're going to fucking job.
Yeah. You're going
going out the door. But okay, well, you might leave, so we're going to make you look like shit.
Right.
If it's me, I'm going to be like, look, play N6 with Lanny, and if you decide to come back, we'll be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So that's stupid. If you're like, oh, let's make this guy look like shit because he's possibly leaving. That's dumb.
Stupid. On the latest New Japan tour, Kurosawa refused to let Sonny Ono accompany him to ringside, apparently because he felt Ono's gimmick is embarrassing, degrading, and stereotypical.
Which it is.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, taking pictures and shit. Like, oh, it's fucking. Right. It was bad.
Yeah. It was bad.
When he started speaking in the perfect English accent and saying that the reason he acted like a tourist was to make American people seem stupid, that's when it started to get really, really overly done harsh and racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's one of those things. I mean, and let's be honest, it's not like Sonny Ono was the first one to do that kind of a gimmick, and it's not like pro wrestling hadn't done that shit for decades.
Oh no, Fuji was super racist.
What's that?
Mr. Fuji was super racist.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even Japanese. He was a fucking...
He was Hawaiian.
Yeah, he was Hawaiian. But I always just thought Sonny Ono was a stupid gimmick.
Hall and Nash have clauses in their contracts that limit them to a certain number of dates on the road per year. They are on pace to fulfill those dates long ahead of schedule, which would force WCW to go without them at house shows for several months or renegotiate their contracts. And here's where Vince McMahon is smarter than the knuckleheads at WCW. WCW had that great success, yes, but let's not ever snowball the fact that WCW was generally run by fucking knuckleheads. To be honest.
Vince would sign a guy and say, hey, I will pay you more the more you work. And the more you get over.
Right.
WCW, on the other hand, was like, oh, we'll pay you this amount of money for the amount of days that you're going to work. And then say, hey, you guys have gotten over. We need you to work more. And then they were like, well, you told me I only had to work 15 days a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to work 17, you better pay me more.
Right.
And even to that, even today, if Vince McMahon signs, say, a Brock Lesnar to a limited date deal, Vince McMahon is smart enough, number one, to have already planned which dates he wants to use Lesnar for. You know that when Vince
Right.
McMahon and Brock Lesnar sign 12 dates a year, Vince is like, all right, you'll be at WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, 2 Raws leading up to SummerSlam, you'll have your matches. You know, he's already got that planned out.
Right.
And he's not going to make, if he's got a guy part-time or on limited dates, the guy might be a big part of the show, but it's not going to revolve around him. Whereas here you've got the NWO, which is the biggest thing on your show, and you might not be able to have them on shows for a couple of months because of your stupid deal you worked out with them.
And guess
Right.
what? And Vince can also say, hey, guess what the stupid deal that I signed you to didn't include? It didn't include you cutting a fucking promo.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you don't have to work, but if I want you to do like a sit-down interview or something,
Right.
you're not really
or
working.
coming via satellite. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No,
All right.
He's definitely a better businessman when it comes to signing people. And I mean, look, you can talk about him till the cows come home. He's booking things shittily. He's not booking things right. He's old. He's prodigy. He still knows how to sign people to a damn contract. So,
Yes. All right, here we go. WCW TV tapings. We love WCW TV tapings.
Wait, sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead. You had another thought?
I was gonna say, like, my favorite thing with Hall and Nash, and I know we talked about it before with the fake Razor and the fake Diesel, and it shows how fucking smart Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are. Was when Jim Ross is like, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are coming back. WCW was like, oh no, we don't want you guys to leave. And Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were like, wait a minute, we're not leaving. But they were like, oh yeah. Yeah, you better give us more money because we're fucking leaving. And then fucking they gave him more money, and then fucking Rick Wagner and fucking Kane came out, and they were both like guys.
now, do you think Eric Bischoff was like, shit, this was going to happen the whole time? Or do you think it was like, oh, we signed them back to a better contract, so they had to get some replacement guys? We ruined the return of Hall and Nash.
It's possible.
He thought he was a genius. Oh, we ruined it. No, you didn't ruin anything.
Yeah, he always thought he was a Nitro was live on October 7th from Savannah, Georgia. Harlem Heat beat the Public Enemy. During the match, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Ted DiBiase and Six showed up in the crowd. With a wireless mic, Hall and Nash tried to intimidate Harlem Heat. Shivani said that even though WCW extended their hand to Sting last week by painting the WCW race car with his name and logo on it, they haven't heard from him. They showed a limousine out back, and Jeff Jarrett got out. So this is his first appearance on WCW Nitro. He put on a black leather jacket and said, boy, do I have something to say. So this is Jarrett. Jarrett was the guy. He was the guy during the Monday Night Wars, I think, that jumped the most.
Yeah.
4 times. I think it was 4 times. Back and forth.
Yeah, he was always kind of a pain. I guess when you think about it, other than when he got to have his own company, he was kind of a pain in the ass.
Right.
And he was one of the least guys that you would have thought would have been in the fucking NWO.
Yeah.
Like, watching it as a kid is like, I was like 14 or whatever. I was like, I know Jeff Jarrett's not going to be in the fucking NWO.
But they made it seem like he was the groundbreaking signing for either the NWO or WCW. Like, if he would have went to WCW, the war would have been over instantly. No.
Right.
Just no. It's Jeff Jarrett.
They play that card too many times with the NWO storyline anyway.
Right. We all knew. But let me ask you a question. As kids, we all knew it was Sting. We all knew Sting was the one that was going to fight the NWO tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So for Jarrett or a Steiner Brothers or anybody. We're going to battle the NWO and we're going to take the flag of WCW. Okay, go join Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Sit in the corner and wait for Sting to finally come back. And we're giant WCW flag and wait for Sting to decide when he's ready to fight.
Yeah. And they this could be a whole show, so I won't get into it too much. Maybe we can actually do a show on it sometime, a whole show about how we should do that. We should do a We Can't Wrestle podcast just about the NWO storyline, and because there's so many facets to it, and how they essentially they had this brand and they degraded their own brand. they destroyed their own brand by doing this. But that might be a I just did
Kevin Nash said. He's like, oh, Eric was like, oh, that came off so good, and Kevin Nash was like, two guys just beat up your entire roster with baseball bats,
Right.
and we didn't fucking touch them.
And they believe, and everybody believed that it was the WWF guys,
Just
not
ruined.
two guys that are on your roster.
right. Let's see here.
I'm
Diamond
sure
Dallas.
you guys see the story, the Steve Austin previews for when Nash was on it. And my favorite story Nash tells during there is when he says, "And we were all hyped up, and we thought we were going to beat them." And then Mike Tyson came in for WrestleMania, and the next day I walk into Monday Nitro, and Kevin Sullivan looks at me and goes, "Hey Nash, did you see that last night? What? We got hit by an iceberg called WrestleMania." And
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I thought it was funny that he said working with King Kong Bundy was like working with a piano.
Right.
that popped me. All right, let's see here. Diamond Dallas.
Nate,
Yeah.
watching that Kevin Nash Broken Skulls thing, did you see what I was telling you about Steve drinking his beer? Yeah,
Yes.
where he's like, Archie,
What?
if you watch that and if you watch going forward with like Steve when he's interviewing those people, one of my favorite things that Steve does, and I know you can see me on video, so and the people can't, but if you watch Steve, like he drinks beer the entire time, you know, because that's what he does. If you watch him, when Steve Austin finishes a beer, he doesn't just like crush it and throw it to the side. When Steve finishes the beer, he crushes it and he just continues talking to somebody, and he just crushes the beer and just throws it behind him.
Does he?
Yeah, it's so fucking cool. Like I've never seen anybody else do it. Like he's just like drinks his beer and just throws it behind him. He doesn't even think about it. He's just like, oh man, that was super interesting, and just throws a beer behind him and opens another one. And then they say some other shit, and then he's like, oh, that's super interesting, and he just throws it behind him. It's fucking great. Sorry, Nate.
That's all right. Diamond Dallas Page pinned Jim Powers. Oof. Let's see here. Next match. Barbarian and Meng beat High Voltage when Barbarian pinned Rage. Right? In other words, Barbarian and Meng beat the shit out of High Voltage.
Right.
Glacier beat Mike Wenner. Not Winner. Wenner. Jeff Jarrett beat Hugh Morris with the figure 4 leg lock. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Bischoff said a few months ago he received a call from Jeff who wanted a one-shot chance on WCW to prove himself, but now that he's joined the NWO, he's disappointed. Bischoff talked about Jeff's roots with his father, who promotes in Tennessee. Jarrett dominated offense at first and rested in the corner. I'm trying to find where did he even cut a promo? Okay. Schiavone interviewed Jarrett on the Rampway. Jarrett addressed Hulk Hogan's comments recently. He talked about Hogan claiming his father, Jerry Jarrett, Vern Gagne, and others would not have existed without him. Jarrett said Hogan never once put food on his father's table. He said Hogan started in Tennessee. He said the history of the Funks, Briscoes, and Thez means something to him. You and the rest of the NWO can stick it. So there you go. There, Jarrett's telling the NWO to stick it. Arn Anderson beat Lex Luger. Arn Anderson, it's funny. It says this is a misprint, so I don't have any idea who Arn Anderson beat because it says Arn Anderson beat at 7:20. So I don't know who Arn Anderson beat, but whoever it was,
That
he
might have
beat
been
him.
like Craig Pittman or something like
Yeah,
that. It
he beat him in 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
Probably roadblock. So Jarrett was trying to like cut a promo talking about how his family was like ingrained in the wrestling business or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Lex Luger beat Dave Taylor. Rick Steiner beat Chris Benoit. The main event was
I've seen that match. I've seen that match recently. It was brutal. They just pounded on each other for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
yeah. There was no give in that match. They were just beating the hell out of each other.
It was probably super entertaining.
It was.
The main event was scheduled to be Randy Savage versus Ric Flair. The NWO then attacked Ric Flair backstage, and when Randy Savage saved Liz from the Giant, Hogan attacked Savage. And that is how Nitro went off the air. We do have a WCW TV taping here. Or a couple of them, actually.
If the Gambler is not on this TV taping, I'm riding.
October 1st.
We talked about him.
October 1st in Canton, Ohio. The October 5th WCW Saturday Night was taped. Midway through the show... Oh, wait, hold on. Midway into the show during Mark Starr versus Brad Armstrong, Ted DiBiase and Vince walked into the crowd. DiBiase said it's an election year and the fans have to choose which wrestling organization they want to follow, WCW or a winner like the NWO. That's DiBiase said. DiBiase, yeah. DiBiase said next Saturday on NWO Saturday Night
or whatever. Sorry. Go ahead.
DiBiase said next Saturday on NWO Saturday Night they will start the NWO Invitational Tag Tournament featuring Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Oh, God, that was so bad.
Yeah.
Nick Patrick in a ski mask and two crappy jobbers just getting the hell beat out of him by Nash and Hall.
Yeah, was it when they were doing that black and white shit?
Yep.
That wasn't terrible. That was entertaining.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
But it was funny.
Well, because the commentating was Nash and Hall using different voices.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny shit.
Nick Patrick in the ski mask.
Yeah. His mustache was sticking out. Like, how do you not know that was Nick Patrick?
Yeah, you get that.
Rey Mysterio Jr. pinned Juventud Carrera to retain the Cruiserweight title. Megan Barbarian beat Big Ron Studd and John Tenta. Oof. Eddie Guerrero beat Joe Gomez.
Fucking trash. Not just Eddie.
Arn Anderson beat Vic Steamboat.
No relation to any of the Steamboats.
What?
Vic Steamboat got some WCW bookings.
I guess he did. Steve McMichael and Chris Benoit beat the Rock and Roll Express. I bet that was fun, actually. To me, I think I'd actually like to watch that match.
Yeah, but shouldn't the Rock and Roll have gone over?
Over Benoit and McMichael?
Over McMichael than anybody. It didn't matter if it was Benoit. Everybody should have beaten Steve McMichael back in those days.
So this next match sounds great. Or this next match is on paper fantastic, but it's actually kind of a travesty what they did here. Dean Malenko beat Mr. JL. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
At 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah.
Like they only gave him that long. Yeah.
Well, we had to get that McMichael rock and roll match more.
Right.
Lex Luger beat Renegade.
Oh my fucking God.
And Harley. I bet it was terrible. Luckily, it only went 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And let's see, Harlem Heat beat the Public Enemy to regain the WCW Tag Team Championships. So thank God
they did that on a taped show.
Yeah, thank God the titles are off the fucking Public Enemy.
I think they got like a week and a half to 2 week reign.
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all. To my knowledge, let me see. Yeah, because we talked about them winning 2 shows ago. So yeah, it was about 2 weeks.
Yeah, they weren't meant to win them. That was a mistake too. That's the funny part.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Go ahead, Archie. I'm sorry.
One of the Harlem Heat didn't kick out when they were supposed to, and the referee was just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and Public Enemy grabbed the belts and ran backstage, and everybody in the back of the production crew was like, okay, what do? We start the match on a live show. So they just like, the hell with it. We'll get him back on Harlem Heat eventually.
Yeah. There is no ECW news this week, but I do have an ECW house show report, and then we will go into the indie results.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So here we go. ECW, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the ECW Arena, October 5th, 1996. Louis Spicolli pinned Doug Furnace. Here's what's wonderful about ECW. The next match. Mikey Whipwreck beat JT Smith. But here you go. JT Smith is accompanied to the ring by Bad Crew, Sal Balomo, Devin Storm, and Little Guido. Like, ECW is so crazy. Like,
They didn't know was JT Smith an FBI member, or was he making his own group, or what? It was just like, send everybody out with him.
Send everybody out there. If you're here, you're going to be on the show.
Right. We got to pay everybody. Well, we're going to try to pay everybody.
Yeah, no, you're not. Taz beat Johnny Smith. The Eliminators beat the Samoan Gangsta Party.
That was probably bad. Not because of the Eliminators, but like Samu and you mentioned that was Rosie.
The Samoan Gangsta Party was 3-minute warning.
Well, no, it was Samu and Rosie. It wasn't
Umaga wasn't. Umaga wasn't with them yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Samoan Gangsta Party was Samu and Rosie.
Yeah, they were supposed to make a change spot too, and they never did.
Throw myself off the
game.
Let's see here. The Gangstas beat Stevie and Meanie. Bam Bam. You know what? Even though it's 96, I think I would. It's a 96 Terry Gordy. I think I would still like this match. Bam Bam Bigelow beat. Match. Bam Bam Bigelow beat Terry Gordy.
That was a good match. They billed it as the Battle of the Bam Bams.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had a real. They say that was Terry Gordy's only good match in ECW because of how ailing he was before then.
Right.
But
yes.
It was a good match.
We're getting to the point. And the funny thing is, according to this, with this house show anyway, Bigelow actually replaced Devin Storm. He was actually scheduled to wrestle Terry Gordy.
Okay.
So,
wow, what a replacement.
Yeah. Shane Douglas fought Pitbull number 2 to a no contest to retain the ECW title. Bubba Dudley, Spike Dudley, and Big Dick Dudley beat Devon Dudley with Axel Rotten. I'm sorry. Bubba Dudley with Sign Guy Dudley, Spike Dudley, and Big Dick Dudley beat Devon Dudley with Axel Rotten. I knew what I meant to say.
Now, you want to hear something bad, Nate?
What's that?
I was watching ECW, and I remember the Dudleys turning face. And then I remember Devon coming in trying to rile up Bubba Ray and get them back on their winning ways because we're Dudleys and we do everything, bad and whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the channel that showed ECW went off the air, and I couldn't watch for like 3 months. And when they finally came back, the Dudley boys were Devon and Bubba Ray. I was like, well, shit, how did they get back together?
I missed an entire chunk of this.
To this day, I still don't know how Devon turned Bubba Ray.
I guess you'll find out on Slice of Time.
Living the extreme.
Well, I will. Well, you guys are still 3 years away from it.
We'll get to it on this show before we get to it on that show.
Right.
But I don't know where I'm at.
All right. The The Gangstas beat the Eliminators.
I'm stuck in a peanut butter jelly sandwich of time. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh God,
Where am I?
that was probably a good match. Gangsters and Eliminators.
They always had good. They always had good. I don't want to say good matches, but they always had awesome ECW style matches.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then Sandman and Tommy Dreamer beat Stevie Richards and Brian Lee when Sandman pinned Richards to capture the ECW title in the Ultimate Jeopardy match. So we had a title
Raven
change
was injured.
on
Raven
this
was
house
injured, and
show.
Stevie took over as the champion.
Mm-hmm.
That was an Ultimate Jeopardy match in 1997? 1996?
96. Yes.
Yeah.
We just reviewed the Ultimate Jeopardy match in 1994.
Yes, we did. Okay.
Even more confusing.
Yeah, that was so convoluted. Okay, I need to take a short break.
Same.
Okay, I'll be back.
Shit.
All right.
50. Fuck.
RG. Oh, that's a lot of noise. RG. RG not there. RG Mitchell, are you there? Is RG Mitchell back?
Yes, I am. What's
Can
up?
I ask you a question, brother?
What's up?
because Nate told me it was a good buy. And I'm going to ask you
Okay.
for a second opinion and make sure I didn't get ripped off.
Okay.
I had, and I still have in my collection, Axe, Smash, and Crush. Okay, Hasbro's.
Right.
But dude had, at the show we went to, he had Axe and Smash in his collection with the masks.
Right.
And I paid $60 for it.
You scored. The masks are worth 60 alone.
The masks are worth 60
Yeah.
alone?
If they're real masks, which the way you know if they're real masks, if they feel rubbery
They do.
and they have little bumps on them, then they're real. Then they're worth 30 a piece. That's what they sell for.
I
Sure.
posted a picture of them, but I don't know if you
No,
saw
as
the
long
picture.
if they're a hard rubber, like you can't move them at all, then their reproduction they're still worth 20 a piece. Because people sell them for 20 a piece, but the real ones go for 30 a piece, and the figures go for about 10 a piece. Axe and Smash Crush is the more high end of the three. He goes for 20 on his own. So even
Yeah,
if you were to keep the mask and put them with yours, and then sell the figures off, I'm just saying, you'd still be ahead.
all right.
So, yeah, I had 2 original and 1 reproduction mask when I first started with my collection, and then I ended up getting just nothing but reproduction ones, and I sold the real ones, and I ended up getting 70 for the 3. So,
All right.
All right. All we
I
have
dig
to
it.
do is the indie results, and then you guys are free men.
you know I don't mind being on this show.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
We can talk about stupid shit after that. I don't give a fuck. I got
Right.
like 2 beers to drink after this.
And now we get on to Archie's favorite time of the show. We round out the show with indie results.
Yes.
We're going to have indie results from the week of August 25th through the 31st and the week of September 1st through the 7th of 1996. Here we go. Oh, I already see some fun names here. Massachusetts Championship Wrestling, August 31st.
That's a weird name.
I thought that was the wrestler's name, Massachusetts. I'm like, what?
August 31st at Newburyport, Massachusetts. Pierre the Mountie
Who?
beat Dragonfly. I think it's funny. He's like, I can't use the Mountie, but I can be Pierre the Mountie. Lethal Paul Lauzon and the Tazinator.
Mm-hmm.
The Tazinator.
How did Paulie?
I don't know why.
How did Paulie not sign that guy just for Taz to beat the crap out of him for 10 minutes? You know?
Well, they beat the Crash Test Dummies.
Nice.
I bet their
Real
get-up was
good.
fun.
And when they got choked out, they were like,
Superman never made any money. By the way, I'm a fan of that band. I dig Crash Test Dummies.
I like that song.
One of the best, one of the good, them and the Bare Naked Ladies are probably the Canada's finest exports for music. Eric Kane. He beat Generation X. Sounds like a tag team. Apparently, it's just a dude.
Yeah, you
told everybody to suck it.
You expect guys to come out trying to be D-Generation X, but they can't. You know what I mean? So
This is even
Generation X.
This is even before D-Generation X.
Right, but like they're trying to like choke on it.
Choke on it.
It's the car pub, Jesse James. And the fat ass William Gunn.
Fat ass William Buns.
Yeah.
And TJ Richter beat Alex Payne.
I've heard the name Alex Payne before.
Let's see. World Star Wrestling Federation, August 31st in Hazleton, Pennsylvania at the American Legion Hall with 150 in attendance.
Ooh, sell out.
Jason St. Sinner
Mm-hmm.
beat Corporal Punishment. There have been so many corporal punishments in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 17 guys that have used that. They're like, it's like doink.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get some army fatigue, paint my face, and I'm corporal punishment.
Corporal Punishment.
Now, the guy you mentioned, Jason St. Sinner, that might not have been a bad gimmick. Comes out dressed casual, you know what I mean? Maybe a white shirt but with black slacks. And then he's trying to do the right thing, but the devil on his shoulder is making him cheat a little, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personality. What's that?
He's got like a little midget on his
No,
shoulder.
he's got two little midgets. One dressed like an angel and one dressed like a devil.
Right. Who are these two little guys with you? This is Saint Peter and this is Lucifer.
Lucifer, played by Tiger Jackson.
Right.
Dan Steele beat Jack Hammer via disqualification.
Jack Hammer. I like
Jack Hammer.
I like him.
Sean Freight Train Foley beat Jay Love by disqualification.
Who did he beat?
Jay Love, not Gay Love.
Jay?
Oh, Gay Love.
Hello.
Hello.
He only steals the victory behind the referee's back.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay. Terminator 2, Bobby Layman. Like, Terminator 2 should either just be Terminator 2 or have like an intimidating name. But no, it's Terminator 2, Bobby Layman.
Layman.
Pinned Mean Paul Mitchell. Doesn't he make shampoo?
I thought so, but I mean,
he was a layman carpenter.
But for there to be a Terminator 2 that indicates that he had a tag team partner that was known as Terminator 1?
I assume?
Or did he just watch the movie and go, my nickname's Terminator 2? No, you can't have that nickname. My nickname is Terminator 2.
And I'll be back.
And I'll be back.
Ranger 7.
Mm-hmm.
Are there 6 others? I don't know.
6 others? Right.
Well, he beat Jay Love. So Jay Love has been defeated twice on this card now.
Now, wait a minute. Was he the ranger of like those rest areas that Jay Love happens at? Because
oh yeah, Gay Love loves being beaten off. Guard. As much as Gay Love can be beaten off, he's all about it.
Tommy Idol. Oh, go ahead.
Back to the Ranger again. When you put a number by your name, you are then insisting that there were others before you.
Yes.
Yes. So.
Mr. Wrestling 2.
Right.
Tommy Idol.
69.
Tommy Idol. Tommy Idol pinned El Pirata.
El Pirata.
El Pirata. The pirate.
I wonder what that is. The pirate. Okay. Was it?
The Wild Samoans beat the Lumberjacks. I'm assuming this isn't. I'm assuming this isn't the Wild Samoans.
That's not Alpha and
The
Secret.
Lumberjacks
No way.
didn't care.
And a man Archie referenced earlier.
I don't care. It's a Monty Python joke. Sorry. Go ahead.
A man Archie referenced earlier probably threw his T-shirt out. Tito Santana pinned the Mad Russian. And when I think of it's funny, the Mad Russian, like, he shouldn't be crazy. He should just be angry. he's not crazy. He's mad.
No,
the prices are too high.
He's on his way home. He's Mad
he
Russian.
Walked in the ring. He's Mad Russian. He walks in the ring, the ref's like, "What's wrong? Price of gas is pissing me off."
Yes. Dos Vidania.
He's the mad Russian because he's mad and he's Russian on his way home, and there's some old bitch in his way, and he's trying to fucking Twinkie and pay $7 for gas, but Mildred Burke's in front of him buying fucking tickets. He's the mad Russian. Home.
That took a while.
Sorry. You can edit it.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Southern Championship Wrestling, August 31st, Greenwood, South Carolina, at the Civic Center with an attendance of 50.
50.
We have more voices on our shows than this thing had on.
Yeah, but they only got 25 last month, so they're happy with 50.
SW Steel and Cruiser Lewis beat Steve Anderson and Roadhog.
Roadhog.
Roadhog got in the way of Mad Russian on the freeway.
Right.
So he's responsible for all that.
Well, but
Yeah,
Roadhog. But to Roadhog's defense, he was on his way for some gay love at the Ranger Park. Ranger Park 6.
Jake Mulligan and Ricky Regal.
Roadhog, Leslie Lane.
Oh my. Jake Mulligan and Ricky Regal beat Rick Michaels and Mickey Eric.
Too many Nicks and Ricks in this.
Yeah, I know. It was like a tongue twister for me to repeat the match. Johnny Dollar. I like that
Johnny Dollar.
I like that name. I dig that name. I like that name. That's a cool like indie heel name. Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
And Mad Max Miles, and Johnny Dollar beat JW Steel and Roadhog.
So they made up.
What's that?
They had their match and then they made up.
Yeah, I guess they did.
Yeah.
The Desperado and Freedom Fighter beat JJ Justice and Nightmare. Ooh.
Nightmare.
And Cruiser Lewis won an 8-man battle royal. I love it. I love indie shows because they'll be like, we have a 6-man battle royal. It's only 6. It's everybody that wrestled. Just bring this.
Right. Loser Lewis and
Johnny Dollar.
And Johnny Dollar. They're going to beat him down to his last cent.
But before we have the match, raffle tickets are still available.
Yeah, for your goddamn tumbler.
With a straw.
Archie, listen to this. Listen to this, Archie.
I'm listening.
And Nate and I were drinking at this fucking... Well, okay, I was drinking at this show, the show we went to in Fort Wayne, the Zeros and Legends. You were there, and their fucking ring announcer was like, "Listen up, everybody. We know it's intermission. If anybody wants to join into our 50-50 raffle and join in for the 50-50 raffle for our cup with a straw, get into it."
He said, "You want?" Pretty much, it was. They're trying to give away a tumbler that is branded for the promotion, but he goes, to get your hands on the tumbler with a straw. Like, with a straw made it so much more attractive, you know?
Yeah. It was a one-of-a-time tumbler. A one-of-a-time Zeros and Legends tumbler with a straw.
And I was just like, that did not sell me on anything. Northeastern Championship Wrestling, September 5th at North Haven, Connecticut at the fairgrounds. 400 in attendance.
Okay.
But it's a free show.
Somebody's mom showed up.
Tony Atlas pinned the Russian, not the Mad Russian, just the Russian. He had chilled out by this time.
He calmed
Yeah,
down,
he's
right?
done.
Well, he ate at the fair.
And Tony Atlas's opponent, the calmed down Russian.
Calm down, Russian.
He's got a funnel cake and a beer in the other hand. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
The show is free. It's fine.
It's fine. I don't get paid, but it's okay.
Everything is okay.
I got Beatles records and blue jeans. I'm good.
Yes, we have Beatles records, blue jeans,
Moose and Squirrel.
goose and squirrel. We're all good.
In Soviet Russia, free show has you.
You
Misty
pay me
Blue.
now.
Misty
You pay
Blue.
me now.
Yeah. Misty Blue
Who?
pinned Nasty Sherry.
Boo. Like 5 people in the arena that actually did that night. Nasty Sherry. Boo. Everybody else like, who? Who? How do we know she's nasty?
How do we know she nasty?
She like at the bus stuff.
she make me pleased Russian.
Yes.
The good old boys beat the Kodiak Bears.
That sounds like a monstrous match. Just 4 fat guys wailing on each other.
It really does. It's like this.
Four
nothing.
fat guys wailing on each other.
It's nothing I want to watch.
Right.
Oh, we got a midget.
Axel shooter.
We got a midget match here, and I love one of these names. We all know Little Louie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who he pinned?
Sky Lolo.
King Sleazy.
Oh my God. Fresh off of his Survivor Series win over Doink.
Yeah. A couple years later, this midget is still using the name Sleazy, but he is King Sleazy now.
Right. Right.
Like, I own the Applebee's, bitch.
I'm Jerry Lawler. I'm the king now.
Yeah.
King Sleazy. And King Kong Bundy pinned the Lumberjack. All right, last show of the week. The National Wrestling Alliance, September 7th, Yardville, New Jersey. Is that far from you, Archie? Yardville?
Now we're in 10 minutes.
Okay. So about right around Cherry Hill then.
Yarp?
Yeah, well, but the other way though.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Cherry Hill is south, Yardville is north.
Inferno Kid pinned Budlicious.
Oh God. Oh God.
I love pro wrestling.
Bud. Delicious.
Yes, and it's 2 names too. It's like Bud and the Licious has a capital L.
That's why it,
Now, you know how Buff Bagwell used to have the song Buff Daddy? I imagine his song being Bud Delicious. You know.
delicious.
Budlicious. I'm Bud and I'm Licious.
Bud will lish your ass.
Oh my.
Like, I don't know what you're gonna lish with my ass. Preferably nothing.
Nothing.
But why's your mom in the corner? Ripping your dick. Because I assume Buff Bagwell's mom has a dick.
My goodness. Mr. Puerto Rico.
Well, no, I think that Buff Bagwell's mom impregnated herself, and that's how we got Buff Bagwell. Like, her mom's a snake. His mom's a snake.
And Mr. Puerto Rico fought who?
Sorry.
He fought Gino Caruso to a double count out.
Because a snake can
No.
fuck itself.
We understood. Now I have a question.
Because a snake can impregnate itself.
That was not my
I
question.
think and that's what I think Buff Bagwell's mom can do to
Did Mr. Puerto Rico
herself.
win like like how we have Miss America? Do you think he won like a pageant to be Mr. Puerto Rico, or do you think he just got the name and ran with it?
No, he won the title by being very quiet about the transgressions in Carlos Colon's locker rooms.
Okay.
And,
we don't want to speak of that.
Dirty floors and assassinations.
Snakes fucking themselves.
Crazy Ivan pinned Don Montoya.
Crazy
Why not?
Ivan.
Crazy
Ivan is related to the Mad Russian, but not just the Russian.
Yes.
They team sometimes.
Well, he disowns him when he's
when
not
he's happy. Right.
Yes.
Right.
This is not my brother.
Not my brother.
The complacent Soviet.
Everything is fine. Gorbachev was good.
Everything is fine.
Look, I don't agree with everything Ronald Reagan said, but he was okay.
Yes, I'm the complacent Russian. We just wear our normal shoes. They fall off a little bit. It's okay. It's okay.
I like the blue jeans too. I'm okay.
Breadline okay. It's only -20 today.
American blue jeans are fine.
They're fine.
I'm the complacent Russian. Oh wait. Here comes fornicating themselves Mrs. Bagwell.
Stop it. Just stop it.
She is like a buzzsaw herself.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
The Lost Boys beat Jack the Ripper and Doc Havoc.
And now I've heard of the Lost Boys. They were up and down the independent scene at that time. They were actually a very good tag team that nobody signed.
Were they one of those smaller, like, and I know the Hardys haven't come along yet, but were they one of those smaller Hardy type teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have the Brood gimmick. They weren't called the Lost Boys because of the movie, the Vampire movie. They were actually trying to do more of like a Peter Pan Lost Boys. They came out in grungy clothes and pirate outfits like that.
Hanged out with Gay Love.
Yeah. But they were a good tag team.
The Iron Sheik beat Ricky Rector via disqualification.
He break his back and make him humble. Even on free show.
Who else is? Do you know who else? Iron Sheik.
I'm afraid to ask.
You know who else is Iron Sheik's? The Iron Sheik broke somebody else's back and made him humble. Do you know who it was?
I'm afraid to ask. Who?
It was Buff Bagwell's mom.
I figured that. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Bad Attitude beat Downward Spiral.
That's funny you mentioned that because Buff Bagwell's mom went into a downward spiral.
Archie, god damn it!
See, Aaron, I can play that game too.
And in the final match,
Buff Bagwell's mom gave it up to everybody.
In the final match, Reckless Youth beat Psycho Derek Domino to win the North American title. However, Derek Domino was replacing Tommy Cairo in this match. Eric Clapton. Derek and the Dominoes. I got you. Replacing Tommy Cairo. So Tommy Cairo lost his belt without losing his belt.
Tommy Cairo. That's a deep cut.
I am happy to announce, by the way, and that was our last match. But I'm happy to announce that I am currently discussing with Tommy an appearance on the We Can't Wrestle podcast. So, because he was on Reliving the Extreme, we had some fun. It was
a great guest.
Yes, it was, and it turned into, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, but it turned into more of just a shoot the shit session, which was great. So I want to get him on the We Can't Wrestle podcast to do a more formal interview to talk about his career. So that's going to be coming up. We like Tommy. Tommy's a cool dude. My dealings with him are good.
Sorry, I was just gonna say he was a good sport.
Yes, absolutely. And he's really funny. Like, he's really funny. All right. And I mean, I've talked to him a lot on the phone, just like not even recording anything or whatever.
He
Just
said Sally Callahan looks like a little dyke.
yeah, he looks like he looks like Kelly. Yeah, Sammy Callahan looks like a dyke.
Like he was laying in bed, and Archie, listen to this. Archie, did you listen to the? Did you listen
Yeah,
to?
yeah,
Did you listen to Tommy
yeah.
Kairos?
When I heard him say it, I came back to you. I was like, "Why are you beating up on Sam so bad?" I like Sam.
Man, he was sitting there watching it, and just independently, Tommy was like, "I'm watching Impact, and look at Sally Callahan. He looks like a little fucking dyke." It's so funny.
Well, that being said, we're going to wrap this up, and I want to thank everybody for listening. Obviously, earlier this evening, you listened to "If You Smell What the Arch Is Cooking" with Mr. Mitchell there, and
Yes, sir.
coming up this weekend, of course, the year that was with my brother Aaron, and
Yeah,
so many more shows to choose from here on WrestleNet Radio 24/7. Well,
Hearing
you're
our
listening.
voices constantly.
Yes. And that's why I am working on getting some more different voices on the network as well. But that being said, everybody, thank you for joining us on Slice of Time this week. We'll see you next week as we continue trudging through 25 years ago in professional wrestling. Have a great week, everybody.
Good night,